Okay, this is a big test for sim racing. This is a new Thrustmaster 598, €499 direct drive system. That's with a entry-level wheel rim and these pedals. I've used this on Gran Turismo. I was pleasantly impressed. I think more the concept of this price point, that you're going to get it in a box altogether and it's going to be able to buy it through retail, you can return it. This is a bigger test. We're on ACC now. We're mounted to a rig, and I'm hoping it's all turned up and I'm really going to feel, am I missing anything with the 5 Newton meters? Let's see. Okay, in a Ferrari 488 GT3, I have driven this car in real life. I never mention it, so we're going to see if it's accurate as well. Right, here we go. Wow, okay. So I've been told, there's only one thing I've been told about this, which is that when you shift gear, it does a vibration that I might feel in my butt because it's so strong. We're going to see. Looks like, are we at Hungary? I would say my first impressions are that is very light force feedback. That's very, very, very light force feedback. And maybe the overboost is coming in through the gear shift, which I can feel. And I actually can feel that traveling through the rig. But I would want more resistance in this, really. I don't know if this has been set down at a lower level, because I'm comparing this with, say, like the Moser R3. That is actually a bit of a surprising package on Xbox. It does pack a little bit more of a punch, but this force feedback is very light. Now, we know that the Thrustmaster force feedback is refined, but I've been used to that refinement in the package of the T818, which is a relatively powerful, I mean, it's not a 32 Newton meter, but this is giving me more vibrations than I would say cornering feel. I have a strong suspicion that I would want to set this up a little bit differently, well, quite a bit differently in ACC and the wheelbase settings itself. We've got the Ferrari wheelbase here. I think it's the F1000 maybe, working in ACC with all the stuff, which is pretty cool. And I can feel the force feedback, but like I said, it's very, very, very light. Nice vibrations over curbs. Probably not true force level, but pretty good. Try and go over these curbs as well. And there as well. In fact, I might try and ask a Thrustmaster representative whether this is maxed out, because I want to make sure this is maxed out. Can we check? Is this on the maximum strength settings? Okay, let's go. I just wanted to check. Yeah. Okay, so starting another lap here, trying to feel the force feedback. You can see in the bottom right of the screen maybe on my glasses. Glasses on now. The force feedback there, so you can see it is going into the red. I want to be very clear, on this setup here, this is quite a light force feedback experience. So if you want to have something that's going to rip your arms off, this is not going to be it. And I think I would need to drive a little bit differently, because I'm used to, when I turn in, getting quite a lot of resistance. And here I think it's about turning in and then feeling the vibrations change. But my hunch is, with the settings like road feel, and I know with my T818 it came out of the box with like a lot of safety settings. My hunch is that you could probably unlock this quite a bit more, because on PlayStation the feedback was stronger than this, because that will all be regulated through the PlayStation. I am quite a fan of this gear shifting feature. I do feel the vibration. I was concerned that was going to feel gimmicky and like it would take me out of the simulation, but obviously when you change gear in a real car, and I remember changing gear in this car, you are really changing stuff in like the gearbox and the drive shaft, and it's jolting the car, so it's good to have that. I think it might feel gimmicky in certain situations. It's also a subtle confirmation of the shift as well. Not something I've really seen other manufacturers explore, so it's cool to see that they're trying to think of stuff. But you can have a look, I'll try and look with my glasses at the force feedback, and you can kind of see what the force feedback's doing. But even there, where it said it was reaching saturation, I didn't feel like a huge amount. I do like the curbs. And there I can feel like a similar sensation to when I change gear in terms of like that, that might be the overboost like coming in. And I can see it being quite satisfying as you slam down gears. This is ACC running on a PC, by the way. Oh, it's funny because you get overboost in the car as well, don't you? Something I am pleasantly surprised about is these are not load cell pedals, as I understand it, unless these ones are different from the previous ones. But I'm having a decent experience on the pedals actually. Obviously, there are levels to this game. Load cells, which Thrustmaster do already with the TLCMs, and they're going to do a mod for these. But nowadays, you've got active pedals at the top, but you're talking, you know, one active pedal will cost more than this whole setup. So. Oh, okay, I was able to feel that a little bit. I think it's a very different force feedback experience from something that's trying to, especially on ACC. I'm used to in ACC having a very heavy force feedback experience. You know, thinking about going at Silverstone through cops and like, oh, really heavy, and then through Maggots and Beckett's and hitting the curb. This is a more refined experience, but it's different to the T818. There's a little bit less grunt powering it, and it's something definitely to think about. It's not really worth me talking too much about the rim here because this is an existing rim, and it does have the quick release for this on though. You can see this rim as well. You can't quite see the indicator here. It would be cool if that popped out or something, had a little pop out. Interesting, I can't feel a hum from this 598 that I felt from the other one in GT7. So I feel like the force feedback is going to be different in the different games that you play on the different consoles. I feel like Thrustmaster have a philosophy with their force feedback where they're not interested in it just like being very jolty and juddery. They want it to be a smooth, refined experience. And, oh God, that was not a smooth, refined corner. I have been to Hungarian Grand Prix and I sat here. And I think I saw Rosberg overtake Hamilton here, if I remember, about 10 years ago. But I feel like they're not interested in having a very jolty experience, and that's interesting in ACC because I just used to in ACC really not wanting to go over curbs as much because it's brutal. Think about Monza and the curbs, but these curbs are actually quite a nice experience. In fact, I kind of want to. There's a lot of subtle cues, subtle tells. I kind of want to run wide on exit curbs and get that nice vibration. And honestly, it might be now, the next rig I try at this expo, it's not going to have this vibrational gear change feature. I might miss it a little bit for a moment because I don't think it takes anything away from the simulation. And in fact, it's quite a nice feature. I wouldn't go as far to say it's shaking my teeth out, absolutely not. But it is a reinforcement that seems to work quite well, just a little vibration, a little haptic. I can see the safety rating on this account is 24, so goodness me, I don't know what. I sat here as well actually, it's a really cool place to sit and see the Formula 1 cars brake as late as possible, lock up. The bits I would say I want more is these corners here. So when I turn in here for this left-hander, slightly off camber, I need to feel what the car is doing. Mid-engine car here, I need to feel it. I need to feel it for me. And the way the Thrustmaster is delivering it to me is very light there. So as you know, always 100% honest on this channel because I know that people, you're watching this and you might be considering spending your hard-earned money on a box that's going to arrive, hopefully. And I know the excitement, I know the anticipation, and personally, I know the disappointment when you get something and it's not right. And I really don't want people to feel that. So don't buy this if you want like absolutely bone-shattering force feedback. I would say this is going to be quite kid-friendly. Obviously, I'm absolutely hench here. So maybe, but if you were a kid growing up, then you don't want it. And that's what I said with the Moser R3 as well. It's like for a kid's present, it's going to be interesting that the 598 is quite a lot bigger than the Moser R3. But if we go back to the new system that Thrustmaster have with no cogging, I can see how it comes together here with a refined experience, and I can see how they're able to deliver this, even though the Newton meter on the box is relatively small. This is going to be the last lap here, so we're going to go over the line. And I think I'm going to see some more products from Thrustmaster that maybe I can talk about, maybe I can't. I don't know what they are yet. But keep an eye for that. Make sure you subscribe as well to the channel if you want to see more honest reviews like this. Thank you so much for everyone for your support already. And we'll see you in the next video.